This is where MAGA comes to talk. We are going to be live in seconds, and we're going to cover everything that's happening. Trump winning Nevada, of course. That absurd kangaroo court ruling yesterday, and a whole bunch more. We've just got so much to cover on the program. All right, here we go. 6 seconds.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, yes, indeed. It's 6 minutes after 6 o'clock. Oh, boy, Sam, my voice is not awake yet. A little puberty came out there. 6 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And man, do we have so much to cover. The Trump miracle continues in Nevada. President Trump, not on the ballot in Nevada. You can't write him in, and he still wins. Who would have thought such a thing was possible? So we're going to cover that. And there's so much happening. President Trump has a new ad out. Nikki Haley has a new ad out. And there's just a whole bunch of things to cover. And your calls as well are welcome on the program at 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You know, this victory of President Trump in Nevada, I want you to think about this. This defeat of Nikki Haley's in Nevada, which is her third straight defeat. Her third straight defeat in Nevada. Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and next, of course, is South Carolina, where she was twice elected governor, and she's going to be defeated there as well. But this defeat in Nevada, it's got to be right up there as one of the most humiliating defeats because they have such a strange system. They got the primary that they had yesterday, and then what is it, Thursday? They have the Nevada caucus. It's a strange situation over there, but that's okay. Trump won it. That's all that's important. But what happened was just insanely humiliating for Nikki Haley, and it couldn't happen to a nicer woman. It says here, Donald Trump walked away. This is the Daily Mail. Donald Trump walked away with a win in Tuesday's Nevada Republican primary without appearing on the ballot. Now, what makes this doubly humiliating is not only did Trump win without appearing on the ballot, you were not able to write his name in, and he still beat Nikki Haley. Voters opted the selection on the ballot of none of these candidates. That was a selection. None of these candidates over Nikki Haley. The race was called at 9:01 p.m. Pacific time with 60.4% voting for none of these candidates and 33.2% voting for Nikki Haley. So that means President Trump received 60.4% of the vote. And all of the media, and I was watching this morning before I came to the radio station, I was watching some of the local news out of Nevada, some of the local TV news. You can catch the local TV. Everything's online now, right? I was watching some of the local TV news, and President Trump will get all of the delegates of Nevada, which are over 20. I was surprised how many they have. And Nikki Haley, so why is this idiot still running? You know, that's a big question. And there's a few possibilities as to why Nikki Haley is still running. One, it's just a cash grab for her, right? She's raising money. January, she had a massive fundraising haul after she lost in New Hampshire. So she's got this big money coming in from all the Democrat donors. She's had Democrat fundraisers since her defeat in New Hampshire. She's got more scheduled. And I don't know how that money is dispersed, but she could be doing it for just a cash grab from the campaign. You know, candidates make money off these campaigns. And there's been more than one person I've known of over my lifetime that's made a living out of just running for office knowing they would never win. In fact, it would probably be a pay cut if they won and probably didn't want to win. So there could be that. There's another possibility that I've been talking about is Nikki Haley is a war profiteer. She became a multi-millionairess promoting war, right, through being paid off with these fake jobs from the military-industrial complex. And the longer she's a presidential candidate, the longer she's doing national television interviews. And in all of her television interviews, Nikki Haley talks about starting the Third World War, carpet bombing Iran, feeding the military-industrial complex. So that could be a reason she's staying in. They're keeping her behind. And, another reason is this one. Okay, I'm going to add this one to the mix. This absurd federal appellate court ruling yesterday, presidents are not immune. Really, presidents are not immune. Yeah. So Nikki Haley, who's deranged, I mean, and I don't say this lightly about people. I really don't. She's mentally ill, all right? She is a mentally ill woman. She actually believes, with rulings like this absurd court ruling yesterday, that there's a path where Donald Trump will not be on the ballot and she'll be able to get plugged in at the convention because she'll be the second place candidate. She will have some delegates, even though she loses. And it's not just her that thinks this. That war criminal family of the Cheneys and the Bushes and the Uniparty and all of that, they believe that too because they're so sick and twisted with their Trump derangement. So they may be keeping her in the race because they still think that they're going to be able to keep Trump off the ballot on this insurrection case, even though no one has been charged or convicted with insurrection from January 6th. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene made a big deal about this yesterday for very good reason. No one has been charged, tried, or convicted of insurrection involving January 6th. And this is an interesting thing because that's not Marjorie Taylor Greene saying no one's been charged or convicted of insurrection. That's not me. It's not President Trump. That's the most corrupt Democrat Attorney General in the history of America. Merrick Garland says that. Merrick Garland, his Justice Department are running all these prosecutions of the J6ers, and Merrick Garland has said, appointed to the Supreme Court by Obama, doing the bidding of Biden, going after Biden's political opponents and all of that. Merrick Garland has said no one has committed insurrection, okay? So how can you lead something that no one was a part of? So how can he be convicted or tried or anything as the leader of an insurrection that Merrick Garland says didn't happen? But they still have a path. So they are thinking that they're going to be able to, I know this is nuts and it's not going to happen, but we're not talking about sane people. You're talking about lunatics. So these lunatic backers of Nikki Haley think that there's a way that Trump's still not going to be the nominee. And since she'll be the second place person, she'll waltz into it. They really do believe that. Nikki Haley and her man hands will waltz in. They're ill. It's not a fantasy. They're just delusional. Now, we're going to take our first break of this Wednesday, and when we get back, we'll take some calls. There's a lot more to share. Your calls are welcome at 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
I treated the knee with laser.
Oh, man.
Simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do. Shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up through the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, explain a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Hey, Florida residents, do you want to help seniors in your community but don't know where to start? The Department of Elder Affairs can help. Please visit the resource directory found at elderaffairs.org to find volunteers. You may also call the Office of Volunteer and Community Services, 450-414-2020, to see how you can help a senior in need. This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
When it comes to dental work,
We'll be back right after this, guys.
Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental.
Richie's a character, isn't he? Even in the commercial.
954-922-4633.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harris and Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. Coming up on 18 minutes after the hour, it's Wednesday, the morning after President Trump won the third primary. That's right, he won Iowa, New Hampshire, and now Nevada. So it's a great day. Now, public service announcement to those of you on our cruise. Now, if you're not booked on our cruise, I'm sorry, the cruise is sold out. But I found something out the other day, and I've got to let people know that are going on the cruise. This is very, very important. You've got to book your shore excursions with our group prior to setting sail. I just found this out. I have some people in my family and friends that are going on this cruise, and I found this out. You cannot book the shore excursions once you set foot on the ship. That's it. They're locked and sealed at that point, okay? Because we're arranging for transportation at all our ports of call. You know, I'm taking a tour of our ship with our travel agent, Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, on Friday for our 5th annual MAGA cruise to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao on the Celebrity Beyond. I'm very excited about it. But if you have not yet booked your shore excursions, call Ian, guys, and set up your shore excursions, okay? And we have shore excursions in every port of call. In one location, we have 2, all right? And these are just shore excursions that are the experiences of a lifetime, I promise you. You know, this cruise, our MAGA cruise is my yearly vacation, so I make sure that we have a great time and we all go first class. So if you are booked on the cruise, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and get signed up for our shore excursions. You'll find out when we get on the ship that you cannot book on them. And I know what it's going to be like. Okay, there'll be some people that don't listen and they don't do it and they're going to be pissed. Well, you know, I'm going to be doing a lot of announcing of this. It's very, very important. You've got to call him. Call him today and book on those shore excursions. You will not be able to book on the shore excursions on board the ship on the cruise. I know that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's just the way of it, okay? So call Ian. You notice it's all booked. I'm not even giving out Ian's number because the cruise is sold out. But those of you that are booked got the number. All right. So I want to talk about this failed impeachment of Mayorkas. You know, yesterday we were talking about the passing of the great Toby Keith, and of course the firefighter from Ground Zero with Bush and the Bullhorn after the attacks. And this country is being attacked and invaded each and every day at our southern border, which has been completely erased by the Democrats, by the Biden-Obama third term here. And it's a deadly invasion. The exact death toll, I don't know, but it's far greater than 9/11 and Pearl Harbor combined, because there's crime victims. Marjorie Taylor Greene lost a family in a car accident. A car was being driven by an illegal. There's the fentanyl and all this stuff. I mean, we're having 9/11 events on a very regular basis from the southern border. And the Democrats, I know some traitor Republicans went to the other side, and the Democrats take a guy out of intensive care and hide him and then wheel him in to vote against this. I'm going to do something, and I don't think we'll get a response from this. But I'm going to throw something out here early in the show, and I'm going to continue this throughout the day, okay? And this opportunity will be given to one person and one person only, all right? And this is not something that I've offered this a couple of times in years past, but this is not something that I have offered in a long time, okay? And this is a very serious offer that I'm going to make to the first Democrat, the first liberal that picks up the phone today on this program and takes advantage of this very rare opportunity that I'm about to offer. And even when I offer this opportunity and spell this out, I don't think we're going to get a single call between now and 9 a.m. from a liberal taking me up on this offer. Here's the offer. If you're a Democrat, a liberal, or just someone who doesn't want to be affiliated with a political party, and you believe that impeaching Mayorkas is wrong, that bringing in all these illegals by the thousands each and every day is the right thing to do, you support bringing the illegals in, and you're against impeaching Mayorkas, I'm going to offer this just to one, and even with this offer, I'm telling you, not one Democrat, not one liberal, not one open border person is going to take advantage of this opportunity. And this will be in place until 9 a.m. or the first Democrat on the program takes advantage of this very limited time offer. And this is what it is. If you believe that we should let these thousands of illegals into this country each and every day, as Biden and Obama are doing, if you believe impeaching Mayorkas is the wrong thing to do, and you believe that, you call in, make your case, tell us why you think we should let these thousands of illegals in this country each and every day. Impeaching Mayorkas is the wrong thing to do, who's allowing it and organizing it and making sure that it happens. I will not question you. I'll welcome you on the air. I'll let you make your case, and I'll say goodbye. I will not debate you. I will not challenge you. I will give you free reign to, now you can't use profanities and such, okay? And you can't stray from that topic. This isn't a Democrat amnesty on every topic under the sun. This is very specifically about the southern border. This offer will be in place until, well, the show ends at 9, or until a liberal calls in and takes advantage of it. So if you believe we should allow these thousands of illegals into this country each and every day, as Biden and Obama are doing, we shouldn't impeach Mayorkas, that the Republican border policies are whatever they are, I will give you free reign without questioning you. I will say, good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You will identify yourself as someone who supports the open border and allowing the illegals here. And I will say, okay, make your case. I will allow you to make your case without questioning you, without challenging you. And at the end of that, I will thank you for your call. So you get a complete, yeah. complete amnesty. And you know what? We're not going to get a single, I predict we won't get a single call from a liberal doing that. Now, this is only open to one liberal. The first person that does it, that's it. We're going to give amnesty, a one-person amnesty. And here's why I don't think we're going to get that call. I'm telling you, I've done this once or twice over the years. And I'm not going to do this another day this week and or the foreseeable future. This is just for this morning. The reason I believe we are not going to get a call on this from a liberal who believes we should let these thousands of illegals in every day and all of that is because there's no case to be made. It is what it is. They're trying to reduce the white majority in this country and make whites the minority to shift the culture. They want to have millions upon millions of peasants brought into this country who are dependent upon the Democrats for everything, rent, food, everything, so that they can control them. And as Elon Musk said, guarantee one-party rule, and that one party would be the Democrats. That's what I believe. And I don't think any Democrat could make a case why we should allow these people in this country. So I don't think anyone's going to take me up on this offer. But it is out there until the end of the program today. All right? The number 1-888-465-2631. I'm telling you, it won't be easy, but I won't question you. Think about that. Think about that. And the silence that we'll get from not one liberal on that throughout the entire program, and I'm going to move on and talk about a lot of things, but no matter what's going on during the show, you will be able to call in, interrupt the discussion, and make your case why we should let thousands upon thousands of illegals into this country each and every day. And I will not challenge you. I will not debate. I will not question you. I will welcome you to the program and then say goodbye at the end. That's it. But I think liberals, and we have a lot of them in this audience, you hear them sometimes on the phones, I think even they are ashamed of it. They do not have the guts to call in and tell us it's the right thing to do or why. So we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we get back, I'm going to move on to a bunch of things because we've got a lot to cover today. But that offer, the one liberal caller amnesty, will be in place throughout the entire program. The number 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
There's no argument that can be made for that. That's why I don't think one liberal is going to take me up on that offer. Yeah, I've done that once or twice over the years, not for a long time. I don't think one liberal will call in with that. How could they possibly make a case? Now, I wanted to mention something, okay? Yesterday, there's a trend here, unrelated on YouTube, that I'm going to talk about during the break here in a little bit, and I'll get into it a little bit now. There's a trend on YouTube, the van life, RV life craze. And there's a lot of people on YouTube who have tried to make homelessness like cool and hip, okay? And there's a lot of people that have big YouTube channels that have that RV life and van life, and I understand, okay? But there's a lot of people that have YouTube channels that are small channels, less than small, some medium-sized channels that are doing it. And this glamorization of homelessness is awful. And I'm going to go to the phones when we get back, and if there's a liberal who wants to take that challenge, I hope. But I saw something on one of the RV lifer videos yesterday that was so sad that it was just it was just really sad. This glamorization of this homelessness. Do any of you guys watch the RV life, van life videos? Do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe you guys don't. Oh yeah, my homeowner's insurance just went up another $2,400 a year. Yeah, and I watch a lot of YouTube, and I do watch some of these people, but I'll talk about what I saw on YouTube yesterday that was just really sad, coming up in the next break or two. Yeah, it just really was just pathetic. But and it was just sad. I saw one person and I just felt so sorry for them that they even shared it. So I'll get into that on an upcoming break. I'm not going to talk about it on the show. Well, Wendy, it's not always, Wendy Woodside says, I agree, it's sad because it's not always a choice. I agree, but this is the deal, though. It's not always a choice. No, it's not. And some people, they're forced into living in their cars or vans or RVs, and they have a YouTube channel, and they're able to make a living doing it, but there's the other part that's glamorizing homelessness, okay? And that's what I don't like. I don't like the glamorizing, like this is a lifestyle you should yearn for. And, I don't, the idea that it's a lifestyle to make a goal to becoming homeless is just not good. Oh, I agree, Freedom Soup, but there's a difference between being forced into that lifestyle and sharing the situation, and then telling people, as opposed to telling people they should choose this lifestyle of living in the car, home, or an RV. Do you understand what I mean? So I'll get to it in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, the glamorization of it, it's not good. But I'm not going to talk about it on the radio or anything. It's not really fits into what I normally do, but the next couple of breaks, I'll tell you what I heard yesterday that just really was just sad. And I'll tell you the name of the RV lifer on YouTube that I heard talking about it. Don't buy that glamorous lifestyle. These RV parks and stuff, first off, they're not cheap to live in. And there's a lot of very sketch people in that lifestyle that live in these places.
47 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. I'll take a call or two before I get deeper into the issues. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Leona, and I'm calling from Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada.
Hey, New Brunswick, Canada. How you doing, Canada?
Well, we have the same person in office right now. He's very, very much a friend of Biden.
Yeah, Trudeau, yes.
We are in serious challenges, and we're working through it. The only way is for people to come together. We, the people, really exist all over the world, not just the States. Now, I was born in Canada, but from the age of 4 until I married, I was raised and educated in the States, and I am a Yankee Doodle girl. I am not a Canadian. When I came back to Canada with my American husband who wanted to be in Canada, he was telling me it was for homesteading, I found out that Canada is very much, they can't even open their parliament unless they have a representative from, at that time, it was the Queen. Now it would be the King. And they could open their parliament. I knew then that I'd made a profound mistake to come with my husband back to Canada. It's just, Canada needs help.
Well, you know what happens with Canada, there's a lot of MAGA people in Canada. What happens in Canada, I see this a lot. It's like the globalist, liberal elitist. They test run their lunacy in Canada and see how it works, and then if they get away with it in Canada, then they introduce it to the United States. That's why so what you see these globalists do in Canada is like 5 years ahead of their globalist ideas than we're facing in this country at this time.
Well, I've been observing it, and I think I was educated in the States, right? And there's a movement to destroy America that goes back 100 and some odd years. I mean, Marx was...
Well, what they want to destroy, when you say America, they want to destroy, North America. I'm not including Mexico in this, but the United States and Canada is basically, the center of Western civilization, and they're trying to destroy Western civilization and turn us into the third world. All right, well, it's good to hear from you, Canada. Thanks for your call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
Your question was a great, to bring a liberal in here.
Oh.
To discuss an open border and how they could defend it.
And they will not be challenged.
Yeah, but yesterday I saw our commander-in-chief, give a speech, and I don't know if you're mixed up or I'm mixed up, but we were blamed for the border. Trump was blamed for the border problem.
Yeah, it's an interesting... Yeah, and Biden was, if you notice what he was wearing a Ukrainian tie and a Ukrainian flag pin on his lapel.
Yeah, all these years I always thought it was the liberals that opened the border up. When they came over the border, thanking Biden with Biden T-shirts on video that you don't see anymore. I guess that's on purpose the press don't want you to see it anymore.
That's right.
But we were blamed for this open border by this guy that mumbled his speech and disgraced himself. Lied to everything out of his mouth was a total lie. I sat there and said, you gotta be kidding me. This guy was so aggravating and squinting at the teleprompter because he couldn't see it anymore. And then he walked up, and then he mentioned yesterday about a president that he was at this
Mitterrand. Yeah. The French president that died in, 96 or 7? When did he... Yeah.
1996, and this is what we have.
Well, and Joe Biden's defense, right? Perhaps he is a medium and can speak with dead people.
Brian, this is unbelievable. I mean, this, we can joke about.
I'm not joking. I mean, it's frightening. This guy. You got a guy yesterday who's talking about meetings with people that died 35 years ago that he's had recently. And this guy is running our lives. He's got the nuclear football. He's waging war and around the planet. It's frightening. It's frightening.
It's more than frightening. And for people, And all I heard last night on the news came a flash. Biden takes Nevada easily. And I'm thinking, boy, this guy is so good at what he does. I mean, he can't speak, can't find his way off the stage, embarrasses the United States all over the world. He's as weak as crap. I mean, people are taking total advantage. The committee that's running him, his handlers, and now he's going to have on Thursday. He's going to chew us out some.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you when Trump comes back next year. Obviously, Joe Biden's not running jack. I mean, he's out of it. I mean, he's talking. I mean, this conversation that he imagined he had with the French president Mitterrand, who died in '96. I remember him. He was the president of France when Bush 41 was president, the first Bush. Okay, I remember Bush brought him to the Keys once here in Florida, and that's frightening. And this committee, and it is a committee that's running this country. It's not Obama alone, because he can't directly do it, right? He can't handle the minute-to-minute stuff. So there's a committee running this government, and it's a committee that's calling in airstrikes, waging war, and signing bills for him and such. We very well, and this, I'm not joking about this, it is very possible that there, in President Trump's second term, that there is a special commission that investigates this, and a committee of people could be brought to justice who have been illegally running this country for these 4 years of the Biden presidency. I'm not kidding, and I'm not trying to be outrageous, but there are serious crimes being committed that are resulting in people being killed by this committee that is illegally running our country. We do not have a president right now. We have a committee that have the senile old man, and they're running the country in his place, and that is highly illegal.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you this really quick, because people got to understand this is what's happening here. My mother, when she passed away, she had strokes, and she was sitting and she couldn't write. She was sitting in the office. I was trying to get sign some papers, and they looked at me and said, "You can't sign those papers. It's against the law." She has to sign the papers. They said, "My mother just had a stroke. She can't write with the right hand." They said, "It doesn't matter. It's the law. Write with an X." So we got a president of the United States that like you said, is breaking the law on a regular basis, and they don't. Well,
and just in the instance of these airstrikes, these ridiculous, obscene airstrikes that have been going on the last few days, Biden is not mentally capable of authorizing that. Whoever's running the government is, and that means those people have committed murder. Anyone that was killed in these airstrikes were murdered. It's illegal.
And Jake Sullivan on Sunday said that he wouldn't put, in other words, attacking Iran. He won't mention whether anything is on the table. These people are so devious. It's to the point now where, and Biden, by the way, he's getting so bad. It's getting worse and worse. He's walking like he's just walk out of bed and he's like sleepwalking. He cannot even function to walk to the podium anymore. He's going to hold a press conference and yell. Once again, there's times when people misspeak. For example, myself, I keep getting Fannie Willis's last name wrong. I don't know why, but I got it. There's another name. I keep Fannie Williams. I think I call her Williams sometimes. People misspeak. And the more you speak, the more often you're going to misspeak. So Nikki Haley takes a couple of moments when President Trump misspoke and tries to call that cognitive. That's misspeaking. People do that. I was talking the other day about people being red-pilled, and I said red-pilled and green-pilled. It's red-pilled and blue-pilled, but I said green-pilled like 5 times. People misspeak. That's not cognitive decline. What Biden's talking about, I've had people, I had a grandfather that had severe Alzheimer's disease, and it's god-awful. And I was in high school, and I would come home from school, and he would think I was breaking into the house. I mean, he knew who Brian was, but not the 17, 16-year-old Brian. He thought I was 3 years old, okay? And that's part of Alzheimer's. When Biden thinks, and Mitterrand was, he was also very high profile during those Bush 41 years. When he thinks that he had a meeting
about global warming with a man who's been dead 35 years when global warming wasn't even a term, that's severe cognitive decline. One thing I've noticed about, in Florida, we have the oldest population, so half the people in our state are like Biden, right? People that are suffering from severe, like Alzheimer's and such, and other similar things, they live in the past. The past is like photographic to them. It's the modern times that they have no idea of what's going on. And remember when Biden was hitting on those girls a couple weeks ago at a campaign stop and said, "I'm Joe Biden, I work for the U.S. government in the Senate." He hasn't been in the Senate for 16 years. So, you see him reverting back time and time again to 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and it's not funny. It's frightening. And it's hard. This happened with Woodrow Wilson, but there was no media then. People were sending media out on telegraph, Morse code. We have so much live media, and in this age, for this to happen is hard to believe.
10 seconds I got here. Okay, Ronald Reagan, when he got Alzheimer's, they kept him under wraps. Nobody could see him. It was the dignity of the office of president. Now we got this guy being rolled out on stage with Alzheimer's. No.
Now, I want to clarify about President Reagan. President Reagan's Alzheimer's was after he left office. Okay, I know they like to say he had Alzheimer's in his last term. A year or two ago, I watched a whole bunch of interviews that President Reagan did on his last weeks in office from the Reagan Library. That guy was as sharp as Trump on his last month or two in the White House. So he had Alzheimer's after he left office, not the presidency.
Right, but the dignity, they had dignity to keep him where nobody could see it, because it is a terrible disease. Well, now we have no dignity. We got a guy that's got it, rolled out there every day. They don't care. It just shows you how devious they are. They don't care. And your grandfather wasn't running the country, was he? No. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. All right, Richie, take care. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered live 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner...
Yeah, meter in, 28 years. Yeah, 30 years.
Your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need.
You look at Biden, even in that debate with Trump in the last election compared to now.
And everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContract.com.
Yeah, Ron is out. My members only jacket. I've always wanted a members only jacket. My wife got me one for Christmas. How many people in here have had a members only jacket? It's a great jacket. My wife always gets me the perfect gifts for Christmas. It's in the 50s this morning here in South Florida, which is really cold for us.
Call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us.
I am going to talk about the homeless in RVs.
Do you suffer from neuropathy?
During a break.
Until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain.
I did. I wanted to see if people follow any of that, so if they'd have an interest in the chat, and I got some positives. So I will when I get a chance.
Have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, floating fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open
Well, McDaniel they fired her. Trump taking over the RNC is huge. I mean, they wanted Trump. I'm going to talk about this on the show in a bit. We got so much to cover today. All right, welcome back. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about William Youngerman, our gold, silver, and precious metals dealer, who's been with us for about 20 years here on the Steve Kane Show. Yesterday he dropped some big news. I asked him about silver eagles, which are the most sought-after silver 1-ounce coins there are in the world. And over the past few years, they have been priced so high that you would almost have to pay twice the silver value to buy an American silver eagle. And people were doing it. And now, yesterday, William Youngman said it's under $5 above the silver price. The lowest price of silver eagles that I've ever heard since I've been following silver eagles. So if you're a silver stacker or someone who in particular likes to pick up the silver eagles, now is the time to do it. But when it comes to William Youngman, you see ads on television and online to buy your metals. You want to go to William Youngerman, and no matter where you are in America or the world, you can do all of your transactions, both buying and selling with William Youngerman over the phone and through the mail, safe, secure, and insured, and you'll get the most metal for your money than any of these places you see on TV and online, because they mark up the prices of the metals so much that I don't even, especially in the silver products, I don't know how you would ever make your money back. They jack the prices up so much. They really do. They really do. And William Youngerman does not do that. And plus, there's this other racket going on where you don't have possession of your metals, that they hold them for you in some mythical vault somewhere. Who trusts that? You want to take possession of your gold, of your silver, of your platinum. So give William Youngerman a call. Again, no matter where you're located in America or the world, he can help you. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. And online, WilliamYoungerman.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, good morning, Eddie, Fort Lauderdale.
All right, Eddie, what's up?
So, I have I noticed a few things that's going to lead us to a question for you. My buddy, Mr. Mayorkas, and his failed impeachment process. What a surprise. But I couldn't help but notice when they were reading out the yeas and nays, I don't know if you heard it, when it was official that he was still still at his office, you hear all these people in the background woo-hooing and yaying.
Yeah.
They all just won the lottery. I'm like, what is it that made you so excited that this guy's still in office? Like, yeah, we won, we beat them. It's like, it really turns my stomach, And then as much as I look to see in the past few weeks, when Mayorkas is on a hot seat being grilled by like Ted Cruz and the like, I can't help but wonder, and here's my question to you, is it all for the show? I'm not much of a conspiracy.
No. There a lot of these, okay, when the illegal, there's so much money being made in ways we don't even think about. I'll give you an example. All these illegals that are in New York, they have kids that are in the schools, right? Yeah, you know how much money the schools get for that? The school district in New York, just New York City alone. They're filling up class. They get paid per student, so they've got more bodies in the seats. They've got to have bilingual interpreters. They got to have more copy paper. They got to have more teachers. Just in that alone, these donors at every level you can imagine make boatloads of money just off the students that are illegal in our schools. So the members of Congress, they're all like Biden. They're all on the take, just like Nikki Haley, with donors. Biden and Nikki Haley are just at a higher level than most members of Congress. But that's the main reason. Are the donors? They make a lot of money off of it.
So basically, I and maybe a lot of Americans have just been so damn naive as to how deep and sick this deep state is. I mean, because if it goes to that level and then some, there's just things that I bet we just couldn't even fathom to imagine what's going on behind the scenes and the money that's being.
I remember here. You're in. Where are you calling from? Did you say you're from Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
Okay, a few years ago, when Rick Scott was our governor, the entire school board of Broward County was brought up on a corruption investigation by the governor because they were involved in all these deals with people that had one of the school board members was having an affair with a guy that sells computers to the schools, right? There's so much money. Remember when Trump was sending the respirators during COVID to New York and they were going in the front doors of the hospital and out the back door? The Congress, they're criminals. They're criminals, okay? This is that what's going on at the border is about many a thing. But I'm talking in particular about the members of Congress. The members of Congress get paid to keep the border open.
Right. So it's all a show. Am I right? It's all a big freaking show.
No. There are Republicans who believe we should have a southern border.
Yeah, I believe that too. But Brian, man, it's just to that point where I think all they have that's missing is that big clown outside the Capitol.
Well, what they want you to do is feel what you're feeling is defeat, and they want you to feel like it's useless and it's a waste of time. Steve and I, for many years, did not talk about illegal immigration or the border because of the way the government's being run. And then Trump came down the escalator, and he was the first Republican that was actually doing something about it. So prior to Trump, you would have been right. But Trump will be back in January for his second term, and this will all be taken care of.
2 thumbs up with that. Well, thank you for the call, Brian, as usual. It's a pleasure.
All right, take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jerry from Nanaimo.
Hey, Jerry, turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to me on.
How are you doing?
All right, what's on your mind? Another Canadian. I heard the Canadian accent. Another Canadian. We're hot in Canada today.
We do the A thing all the time, and life's wonderful up here. I'm getting educated about how the U.S. politics run because it's a whole hell of a lot different up here.
Well, I got to tell you, we have a lot of listeners to this program in other countries, Canada, the UK, Australia, the English-speaking world, and it's a little embarrassing. I mean, we have this corrupt gangster who takes bribes as our president right now. Our southern border has been erased, and it's embarrassing to me as an American that people around the country think this is what America is always like. I mean, this is a low point right now for our government.
We understand. We have that situation in Quebec, blocks on the road. We're letting immigrants coming through there by the bucket loads. I don't know how many, not as many as yourself, but we're getting affected here in this small town called Nanaimo. I went for breakfast, and we found out that there was a stabbing right beside the breakfast just the other day. Crime's going up, and I stayed in a Salvation Army for 7 months as a homeless person. Mm-hmm. And I saw the craziness there. And I'm not saying there's not good people out there, because there is. There's good people everywhere, no matter where you look. You've got to treat people with respect in all walks of life, or you get chewed up. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, I wouldn't want to be out there with the people that are on drugs, because when they're on drugs, that's the only monkey that they're caring for is the drugs that they have to take. And when they're in that situation, they'll do anything to get it. And
yep, that's right.
It's as bad as it is. It's just an input.
All right, listen, I've got to run for our top of the hour break, but I'll give you the last word.
I want to say thank you so much, and Trump 2024 for sure. And where we go one, we go all. And that's a spiritual awakening.
All right. I appreciate it. Take care. And the word must be out on the streets of the Canadian provinces that we're on the air, because we're hearing from a lot of Canadian MAGA today. All right. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break and come back and jump right into the top issues of the day. Don't go anywhere.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 India.
All right, now I'll tell you guys what I was. I mentioned this at the bottom of the hour. So I was and I only bring this up to you guys because the name was mentioned in the chat yesterday. I was talking at the bottom of the hour about this trend on YouTube with the RV life and the van life people. And I understand that there are a lot of people that can't afford a home and are homeless and are living in their car. They're living in a van, they're living in an RV. And I'm not talking, and it's a better alternative than living on the streets or in the woods or something. So I'm not saying that, but there's a trend on YouTube to glamorize this homeless lifestyle. There's a lot of YouTubers, and that what they do is they not only do they glamorize it, they set up this RV life, this living in my Prius, this living in an RV as a lifestyle to yearn for, and that's what I take an issue with. There's a lot of good people that can't afford a home, that are living in their vehicle, and they have a YouTube channel. They're making some money on YouTube, and it feeds them and keeps gas in their car. I get that's different, but to tell people that this is a lifestyle that you want to live, that you should aspire to be homeless, that's a whole nother thing. And I watched I do watch some of these van lifers, RVers, and such on YouTube. And there's a guy that I watch. He's local here in my area, and Sarasota Tim. And I mentioned his name yesterday, and then someone in my comments on YouTube mentioned Sarasota Tim. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sarasota Tim or not, but he's 65. He lives in an RV, and he seems like a nice guy. I don't know him, but he does a lot of YouTube videos on taking Social Security at 62, and this is a life that is a great life, and all this stuff. And he posts about 6 videos a day on YouTube. His name's Sarasota Tim, and it's not a great lifestyle, and he is not doing well. I know he says he is. And he's told a story on one of his videos yesterday I saw, and it was so sad. He has his RV up in Jacksonville. He's down here for some eye surgery. He's staying with friends that he used to have his RV parked at their house. He's staying with them for this surgery that he had. And he said, this was yesterday, so this was night before last, that they let him, since he didn't have his RV, they let him sleep in the sewing room. Okay, and they let him sleep in his sewing room. He just had surgery. His RV's up in Jacksonville. Okay, and then I watched another one of his videos, and then he mentioned that the sewing room was not a room in a house. He said it was the bed of a U-Haul box truck. So he spent the night in a U-Haul box truck after he had this eye surgery in someone's backyard or something. And I thought, the man's, this has been the coldest time of the Florida winter. And I know by your standards, it may not be cold, but it's been in the low to mid 50s here in South Florida, which is the coldest time of year for us. And I'm watching this guy who's 65 years old. He just got eye surgery. He's sleeping in someone's U-Haul box truck in their backyard, and it was so sad to me. And he makes these YouTube videos acting like this type of lifestyle is a great life, and this is how people, I've got a. It's not. And I just don't like it's one thing to be forced into a situation like that. It's another one to glamorize it and encourage people to adapt to this homeless lifestyle. It was so sad to me. Sarasota Tim's his name. I don't know, anybody know Sarasota Tim? I mean, it's just disturbing. And he was on my mind this morning when I woke up. I saw that yesterday. He was on my mind this morning. when I was thinking about that. It was just sad. All right. Hour number 2 has begun. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. I'm going to restate really a very rare offer I've made this morning to liberals in this audience. I'm going to restate it, and then I'm going to jump back into the news. The southern border issue is a big issue. And when I mentioned to a call in the last hour, Steve and I did not talk about this for years, not until Trump came down the escalator, because the Republicans were never going to do anything about it. The southern border's always been a problem. It's been a problem since before Texas was a state, right? There's always been problems with Mexico and that border, always. And no Republican would do anything about the illegal immigration at the southern border till Trump came down the escalator. Then we started dealing with it. And what we used to tell people is, sometimes callers would get upset and call us here on the show. Why aren't you guys talking about the border? This is before anyone even thought Donald Trump would be a candidate for anything. And we would say, not one Republican is going to do anything about it. So it's a waste of time to discuss. Then Trump says, I'm going to do something about it, and he did. That's a whole other thing. Did that make sense to you guys? So the border issue with the illegals has always been an issue. I talk often that when I was a kid, a friend of mine was murdered by 2 illegals from Mexico in Belgrade. Brutally murdered. He was older than me. He was about 19-ish when he was murdered. He was friends. I knew him. He hung out at our house all the time. He was very close friends with older cousins of mine. I was about 11 or 12 when he was murdered. And he was murdered, he was about 19 or 20, by 2 illegal Mexicans in Belgrade, right here in South Florida. And that he's always on my mind when we're talking about this, because he lost everything. They took everything from him, right? Never had a wife, never had kids. He'd be 60 years old now. Maybe even older. He'd have grandkids right now. He'd be talking about, I'd be sending him to Joe Thomas to talk about annuities and retirement. But he was murdered by illegals at 19 or 20. And any time this issue comes up, I think about him. I used to play. He had Intellivision. Anybody remember Intellivision? He used to bring his Intellivision over to the house. I had Atari 2600. He had Intellivision. He'd bring his Intellivision over, and we'd play Intellivision. Remember that Intellivision? Television, pretty good. But yeah, and his murder was preventable because the border's always been an issue, and none of these Republicans were ever going to do a darn thing about it. And this Mayorkas impeachment fail and this ridiculous border proposition of Biden. Biden and the Uniparty are trying to legalize illegal immigration. They want to legalize illegal immigration. Mayorkas is organizing an attack on America. He's like a spy. Think about this. He's a cabinet secretary, Homeland Security Secretary. The Department of Homeland Security did not exist until 9/11. It was created in the aftermath of 9/11. Why? To protect the homeland. He's doing the opposite. If we would have found after I keep referencing 9/11 because it's Toby Keith's passing and all, of course, right? But, when you think of Toby Keith, you think of 9/11, right? I do. And I want you to think about this. When 9/11 happened, without getting sidetracked to the Bush crime family and possible conspiracies with them, okay? Anything's possible with that lot. But say, 9/11, after 9/11, if we would have found, after 9/11, September 12th, September 15th, that month, that there was a cabinet secretary who was organizing these hijackers to go to flight school, learn how to take off and fly, never learn how to land, kept them here with their fake visas and sent them up to Boston to get on these planes, what would happen? What would have happened to that cabinet secretary? They would have been arrested and charged with treason, and they would have been convicted because it is treason. The most famous names of this country, if you put a list of the most famous names in American history, you know, some of them are traitors to this country. And people who betray this country, well, they're not looked on fondly. And the one I'm thinking about is Benedict Arnold. Benedict Arnold was one of Washington's closest friends, and he was a general in the American Continental Army. He betrayed us to England, gave over the base, gave over the fort at West Point to the British. He betrayed us. He was never brought up on charges. He was sent. He had to go and live in exile the rest of his life in England. But Benedict Arnold means treason. And he was a trusted confidant of General Washington. Mayorkas, like Benedict Arnold, is organizing an invasion of American sovereignty and territory on a much larger scale than Benedict Arnold did. All right? And for him not to be impeached, and then after he makes it through the impeachment vote, there's a celebration like it's a party going on in the Congress. What is going on here? What is going on? Now, I know Mayorkas is not the only guilty party here. I understand that. But it's his agency that is very specifically charged with defending and protecting the homeland. I remember after 9/11, that Homeland Security, we didn't have a Homeland Department. They finally created it, and that was going to be a big thing. It was going to protect our borders. The whole discussion was, well, you know, we've got bases all over Europe. We've got ships around the world. We've got bases in Asia. We got all this stuff going on, but we don't worry about the homeland too much. And that's how they got us. Well, here we are, approaching 23 years later, and the Department of Homeland Security is working in collusion with the Mexican drug cartels and China to bring fentanyl poison that's killing Americans into this country, and thousands of criminals each and every day into our country doing God knows what. Murdering people, probably, you know, in some instances, like my childhood friend was murdered. Okay? This guy, the people that are celebrating him not being impeached in that vote yesterday are sick, twisted people. Is there no understanding of what Mayorkas is doing? Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our first break of the hour, come back with some calls. I do have to, I am making a offer to liberals in this audience. I made it going into the bottom of the hour break. And I told you, I said when I made the offer, not one liberal is going to take up this offer today. But I'm going to make it again after the break. If you're on hold, hang in there. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with
Disgusting.
Business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
South Florida. Are you?
Mm-hmm. It's really sick stuff, guys. Suzanne, evil, sick. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it is, Suzanne. Evil and very sick. It is. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. And if you've already subbed, please like the video. You know, MAGA people are not against legal immigration. Melania is an immigrant. Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka's mother, a legal immigrant. My mother-in-law is a legal immigrant from Canada. We're not against legal immigration, but this is not immigration. This is invasion. There's a big difference. Now, when I talked about that RVer, Sarasota Tim, I mean, what do you guys? I mean, I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on that Sarasota Tim story, but that just was just sad to me. Him sharing that on his YouTube channel, Sarasota Tim, to me was almost like a call out for help. I've messaged him a couple times about getting together and doing a collab video, but he never has gotten back to me. But he really should. I don't reach out to collab with people very often, very, very rarely. All right, we're coming back.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. The Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold, stand by. The free shipping on all my pillow products with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, continues. Mike Lindell shut out of Fox News last month. That's a big blow to My Pillow. You know, when My Pillow was kicked out of Walmart and Bed Bath & Beyond and Kohl's and all these big box creeps, Mike Lindell vowed to his employees that he would not fire anyone. He is stuck to that. I don't know how he's doing it. And getting kicked off of Fox is a big blow. And he is offering, Mike Lindell, free shipping with our promo code Kane, Kane, to all of our listeners on all My Pillow products, no matter how large or small the purchase may be. And on top of that, you get whatever the special is. As an example, the My Pillow Mattress Topper 2.0 that I sleep on every night perfectly regulates your body temperature. It's freezing in Florida. I'm perfectly comfortable in my bed with my Pillow Mattress Topper 2.0. It's 40% off with our promo code Kane. So as an example, you get the 40% off the price plus free shipping. That's amazing, right? And that's a big savings when you get up to the bigger items like the mattress topper, right? Because it's a bigger box that it comes in. So that goes for large or small, no matter how big the item, no matter how big the purchase or how small the purchase is. Free shipping with our promo code Kane plus the special site-wide at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, call us on hold, stand by. I want to restate my very limited time offer to liberals in this audience. It's a one-time offer. It expires either at 9 o'clock or when the first liberal takes me up on this. This is what I am offering. I've done this once or twice in the past and not for many, many years. In fact, it's been so long, the last time I did this, I can't remember what the topic was. But here's my offer. If you are a liberal, a Democrat, whatever the heck you want to call yourself, whatever your preferred pronoun is, and you believe that we should allow these tens of thousands of illegals into our country each and every day, that shutting down the border is racist and wrong, that impeaching Mayorkas is wrong, you call in today, you identify yourself as someone who supports the open border, I will allow you to explain to this audience and to me why we should let thousands of illegals in every day, not impeach Mayorkas, and not have a southern border. I will allow you to state your reasoning for that without debate, without me questioning you or holding you accountable at all. As soon as you identify yourself as a Democrat who wants to do that, I'll say, go. I'll let you make your case. And I will not interrupt you. I will not question you. I will not debate you. I will just thank you for your call at the end. Now, my prediction, I made this offer about an hour ago. It expires at 9 o'clock when the show's over. Or it's a one-time offer. And this is only to one caller, okay? Or when the first liberal takes advantage of this offer. It's been 1 hour. I said an hour ago, not one liberal is going to call in and do it today because I don't think even a Democrat has the guts to make a case for that. And the case isn't like it should be open. I want to hear your reasoning, and I will not question you, debate you at all. I'll just sit back. We'll see. I'd like to get the call. I want to be proven wrong that a Democrat will call to make that case. Because I really want to hear the logic. I understand the Congress. They're all on the take with the donors. They're getting paid to do this. Okay? They're working in collusion with China and the drug cartels and the donors. I'm not talking about Congress. I'm talking about rank and file Democrat voters. Our number is 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
An election year, you would think 216 of these traders would say, wait a minute, I'm not going to get elected again. I made that better than impeach this trader and look good for the voters, because what is everybody? Well, they must think everybody's very stupid.
See, Doug, this is the thing with Mayorkas, and this is the thing. What really burns me about the Mayorkas impeachment, not just that we lost some traitor Republicans, okay, who went with the other side. What Mayorkas is doing is treason to this country. Okay, he is working in collusion with the drug cartels, human traffickers, sex traffickers, the drug traffickers with the fentanyl, and all of that. And what burns me about that's known. Everyone knows this, right? But what burns me about it is the clapping and the party that I heard from the Democrats when the vote to impeach him failed. That's sick. They're applauding Benedict Arnold or Dr. Mudd, if any of you know who Dr. Mudd was. They're applauding Benedict Arnold.
This is really, that's what I'm saying. What kind of brain do these people have? Don't they think that voters are going to say, forget about that guy? I heard something on the internet yesterday that they were interviewing people and asking, what would you rather have Joe Biden in for 4 more years or Donald Trump in as a dictator? And everybody said Donald Trump. So the American people are
I like how they word the question. Or Trump is a dictator. So they're trying to ask. They're asking a question in a way that'll make you do not talk to these liberals in the media. I see these videos online of MAGA people. The Young Turks like to do. The Young Turks, the liberals online. They love to interview MAGA people. I tell people all the time, don't talk to these people. When I go to Mar-a-Lago, I only do interviews with people I know. Okay, I don't do interviews with people you don't know. You don't want if they're going to twist and make you when you're wearing a MAGA hat. This is a thing, you guys. By the way, thanks, Doug, for the call. When you're wearing a MAGA hat or a Trump shirt, you're representing President Trump and our whole movement. Okay? And you let yourself be interviewed by these liberal jerks who ask stupid questions like the one Doug saw, and then they edit it and twist it into a montage. You're helping Biden and the drug cartels in China. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Hi, this is Joan in Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
I've got a question. With them flying all these illegal people all over the country, do you think those people have to take their shoes off and have all their bags x-rayed and go through metal detectors like you?
I don't know. If they do that, they might find the fentanyl.
Yeah, because I never saw that happening at the airport. I think they smuggle those people in on the planes early, and then they let the regular passengers in, you know?
Yeah, I know. Flying, I hate flying anyway. It's such a hassle with the shoes. And I mean, what's the deal with the shoes? Come on, But I don't know the answer to your question, but I know this. They're undocumented. They don't have ID. How can you let people on aircraft that don't have ID?
Right, an American citizen cannot enter an airplane without valid ID.
Correct.
So, I don't know. We're second-class citizens, I guess, now, and they're the creme de la creme. I don't know.
Yes. Now you're talking. Yeah, I know it's sick, isn't it? It's twisted.
That's it.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. I am, too. We and you should be. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. What's your name?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
So I just saw this thing yesterday that said that apparently there's thousands upon thousands of dogs that have been abandoned at the border. So that's one more mess that Joe Biden has created. And, I just...
Wait a minute. Tell me about the dog. What's happening to the dog? They're coming with the illegals and Biden won't let the dogs in?
I think I don't know, because, they're abandoning them. I just saw a report that said there's thousands of dogs when these illegals come and they just abandon them at the border. I don't know, because a lot of times they'll do things to garner sympathy. So I don't know if that's like a ploy, just in the same way there's a lot of guys...
Well, where's PETA? Where's PETA? People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Do you know how they euthanize dogs in Mexico? Do you know how they do it?
I don't know.
Electrocution.
Oh, that's so messed up.
So Biden, on top of this, I'm an animal guy. So he's also involved in animal abuse, sex trafficking, animal abuse.
Yeah, child slave labor.
My goodness.
It goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
On and on.
Sex slavery.
Right, and yeah, people's memory are so short. The absolute apoplectic rage they threw when Trump was securing our border, children in cages, he's a monster. Meanwhile, people forgot 51 migrants died in the back of a sweltering tractor trailer a few months ago. I mean, the list is never ends, and that's just with the limited media coverage that we're getting. We're not even getting the full story, so it's just the tip of the iceberg, and that alone is terrible. And at this point, Republicans are no better than Democrats. After that, Democrats vote in a block every single time, and they get...
I mean, look what they did to Greene. They bring Greene out of intensive care from cancer treatment. I mean, did he have an IV in when he came in to vote?
I will say this. Greene is one of the few people who I can actually consider like a fighter.
No, I'm not talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm talking about the Democrat Al Green. They brought him in. I'm not talking about the great Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm talking about the Democrat Greene, who they hid so that the Republicans couldn't get their vote count straight because the majority's so slim. He just got out of cancer treatment, and then they wheeled him in to vote against the impeachment at the end to save Mayorkas.
Right, that's their dedication. Meanwhile, we're kicking out Republicans. We're letting them retire. They're on vacation and they're absent. It's a joke. We just do not care at all. The same way that Democrats care.
Mm-hmm.
So bad. It's so bad. And so, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sad day because if we can't agree on that, I mean, then that Mayorkas is an absolute traitor. Then we're really
he is committing the definition of treason by organizing an invasion of our country. All right, I got to run for the break. Thanks for your call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to an awesome start. So the winds are going to subside today, and we're going to see nice daytime highs with partly cloudy skies. Sun's back with about 73 degrees. I'm WPM 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw. Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Seeing no major delays this morning on the expressway. The turnpike road crash, Greenwood coming up at full speed from Boca Raton to Jupiter. The incident off on the left shoulder along 95 southbound just before Donald Ross Road. Also on Boca Raton, 95 being up on approaching Palmetto Park Road. You see it off the shoulder. We also have some surface incidents at this time. One in West Palm, Province Drive North, John Burdick Southern Boulevard, also Lions Road south of Vermont. This one is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn once in season, browse hundreds of recipes and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Healthy with Fresh from Florida, there's sunshine in every bite. Let's drop it for more.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Check out the Big Game Party February 11th in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC with a delicious $30 all-you-can-eat buffet, great drink specials, also big prizes including tickets to your favorite team's regular season game next season, and all the super action on over 140 HD TVs. The Paddock is your perfect spot to catch all the
Strong
OTV and
support
sports
of
action.
HRES
For tickets and info, go to
863 impeaching Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Alejandro Mayorkas is guilty of aiding and abetting the complete and
Okay. I'm going to play that Marjorie Taylor Greene thing when we get back. I told you guys not one Democrat would take me up on that offer. They can make their case uninterrupted, unchallenged. I will ask no questions. And
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have new prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital.
see, not even the Democrats can make. I knew we wouldn't get that call. What, make their case to allow the illegals here? Uninterrupted, no debate, no challenge, no questions, just make their case? Unedited, uninterrupted, and live, it seems... I just cracked my neck. There's no case to be made, even from a liberal perspective, that they know would be anything other than unacceptable to anyone who heard it. We'll be back in 20 seconds. All right, I told you guys, not one. We're an hour and 15 minutes into this amnesty offer for one Democrat. Not one is called in with that. Total amnesty call. Well, keep it there till 9. And I think we'll get through the next 90 minutes. Well, it's less than 90 minutes now. The clock is ticking. 1 hour and 23 minutes. I don't think in the next 1 hour and 23 minutes that call. Now they may try to slip it in and call like the last 60 seconds or something. We'll see. Now, President Trump, the Trump miracle continues. Of course, he won Nevada without even being on the ballot. That's amazing. He won Nevada without being on the ballot. Nikki Haley suffered her third defeat. Her fourth in South Carolina is next. And then what Donald Trump pulled off with Ronna McDaniel, it's just beautiful. She's stepping down. They fired her, okay? And to be more specific, Trump fired her. You're fired. Get out of the boardroom. You are not the apprentice. You are not the political apprentice. When President Trump left office, what the establishment was hoping and what they thought he would do was start a third party, a MAGA party. If he would have started a third MAGA party, I would have been there. I'm going to be wherever Trump tells me to go, okay? But he didn't, and it was very wise. He says, nope, not going to start a MAGA party. We're going to take back our Republican Party. And look what he's done. You know, I remember hearing him when he first started talking this way at his rallies a couple years back. Don't send your money to the RNC. Send it to me at donaldjtrump.com, right? And I know that the media, the leftist, the Uniparty, they want you to say that the Democrats are beating the Republicans. The RNC is bankrupt. They're not raising much money. They've defaulted on loans, the RNC. The reason the RNC doesn't have money is because rank-and-file donors are donating directly to President Trump and not to the RNC because we don't trust the RNC. Giving money to the RNC run by Ronna McDaniel and the Uniparty is like sending money to Planned Parenthood. That's why the money's dried up, right? So she's out. Now, who they're going to replace her with, I don't know, but Trump has replaced her. Trump is taking over the RNC. And that's a great thing. It's a miracle. This whole Trump miracle of this entire year is amazing to watch. Now, the great Marjorie Taylor Greene took to the floor of the House of Representatives yesterday talking about this treasonous Mayorkas. Listen.
Chairman, Madam Speaker, I rise in strong support of HRES 863.
Madam Speaker, did Mike Johnson transition? Now, there's a lady filling in for Mike Johnson at the particular time.
Impeaching Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Alejandro Mayorkas is guilty of aiding and abetting the complete invasion of our country by criminals, gang members, terrorists, murderers, rapists, and over 10 million people from over 160 countries into American communities all across the United States. His willful refusal to secure the border has bankrupted communities, closed down U.S. schools that our children attend, drowned hospitals, and incapacitated law enforcement while empowering criminal cartels and illegal aliens. My Democrat colleagues argue that one cannot be impeached over policy differences. Well, I argue that breaking our laws is more than just policy differences. 300 dead Americans every day from fentanyl poisoning is more than just...
Okay, 300 dead a day. That's just from the fentanyl. That's not the other crime. So every 10 days, thanks to Mayorkas, there's a 9/11 event. More Americans are killed every 10 days than were killed at Pearl Harbor during the Japanese attack. A 9/11 every 10 days.
The policy difference, it's murder. Today in my own office, narcotics law enforcement officers from Georgia told me that 7 out of 10 Oxycontins or Percocets sold on the street are laced with fentanyl, and that comes directly across the border from Mexico.
Now, and remember that fentanyl is from China. This border fentanyl trafficking ring, my goodness, this is crazy. You know, back in the 80s, during the Miami Vice era, leftists would say, and some of them still talk about this today, okay? During the crack epidemic, oh my goodness, they would tell us, some still do, that the crack epidemic was done by the U.S. government, that they were working with the cartels in Latin America and flooded the black communities with crack cocaine. And I always thought to myself, that's crazy. Why would the government, to say that the United States government would take part in drug trafficking and be working with drug cartels in South America, that's insane. Pablo Escobar and all the rest, that's not going to happen. The government would never, it's crazy. They made movies and documentaries about this, and I always thought it was crazy. And now here we are in 2024, and for 3 years, the U.S. government has been involved with the drug traffickers flooding this country with the crack of the 21st century, fentanyl. It's happening. What I thought was a wackadoodle conspiracy theory is now a reality. Marjorie Taylor Greene spelling it out.
Fentanyl poisoning is more than just a policy difference, it's murder. Today in my own office, narcotics law enforcement officers from Georgia told me that 7 out of 10 Oxycontins or Percocets sold on the street are laced with fentanyl, and that comes directly across the border from Mexico. Secretary Mayorkas has violated numerous provisions in the Immigration and Nationality Act, including unlawfully directing DHS to mass parole illegal aliens into the U.S. when federal law specifically prohibits this, and unlawfully implementing catch-and-release policies when federal law specifically mandates the detention and removal of inadmissible aliens. In fact, detention facilities under Mayorkas have been mostly vacant because of such unlawful policies. The largest detention facility in California, which can house almost 2,000 illegals, is currently housing only 6 illegal aliens. He has violated his oath of office and breached the public trust by willfully refusing to ensure the laws passed by Congress and signed into law by the President are faithfully executed as required by Article 2 of the Constitution. He has allowed over 10 million illegal border crossers to invade our country, approximately 2 million of whom are known gotaways. These are people who have completely evaded U.S. authorities and are roaming the interior of the American communities, assaulting, raping, and murdering Americans. And God help us if we have a terrorist attack on our land. His subversion of the law has resulted in the highest number of illegal alien encounters in a single day, in the highest number of illegal alien encounters in a single month, and the highest number of illegal alien encounters in a single year, surpassing every national record on each account.
Gentlewoman's time has expired.
I yield the lady an additional 15 seconds.
His willful refusal to enforce the law has resulted in the most egregious national security crisis in the history of our country. Democrats are in a quandary. Either they must own the policies of murder and crime of American citizens, or they can admit Secretary Mayorkas has broken federal laws and vote to impeach Secretary Mayorkas.
Yeah, has anyone checked Mayorkas' closet for gold bars like Menendez? What's he getting at? 300 Americans, how does this man live with himself? 300 Americans die every day because of the fentanyl. And that doesn't include all the other crimes. How does this guy sleep at night? If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Hamilton, is arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Hamilton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling?
My name's Sean, call from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thanks for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian, and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FREE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online at AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
You can make 2024 the year of more ocean views and quality time with your cruise with Margaritaville at Sea's new buy one, get three promotion. Now, for a limited time, you can bring up to 3 guests for free when you buy just 1 guest fare. Bring your friends, family, or kids along for free on fun-soaked getaways with the Bahamas aboard the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, or adventure together with your best mates in Mexico and Key West this summer aboard the all-new Islander. Don't miss out on a sail like no other. Go to margaritavilleatsea.com and book today.
I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches.
Now, when I'm taking a tour of the ship for our MAGA cruise in April, Friday, when I get off the air with our travel agent. You know, we take a tour because we scope out all the venues where we're going to have our events on the cruise to make sure everything is to our liking. And we want to be in different rooms or something. And I'm going to make a vlog of the ship. I'll put it up on YouTube sometime over the weekend, our MAGA cruise ship. So make sure you guys check that out.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. We'll go to the phones in just a moment. You know, the Sloman security system, we have it here at the radio station, and it's pretty awesome. And in fact, this has happened before. After the show, I dart out of here. I'm like, I'm out of here, you know. And sometimes someone from management will come out in the hallway. They'll see me going by on that doorbell camera. They'll come out and say, "Where are you going?" It happens. It happens. It happens. And you hear me talk. I've got the doorbell camera at home, and that doorbell camera, you know when it really comes in handy? When there's a knock at the door and you can't get to the door because you're like in the bathroom or something too. It comes in handy as well. But Slomin's has an incredible offer. They're giving you for free a $1,500 valued home security system with professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. Okay? Now, listen, this is a limited time total home security package offer. You get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 10 entry points, lifetime service plan, professional installation, and backup battery. You'll also get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. Here's the number: 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. All right, let's go. Still, a Democrat has not taken me up on the amnesty offer. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore. How are you?
All right, Barbara, what's up?
Oh, well, you're up, and so am I. I just had a couple of comments about Mayorkas and what happened yesterday. I'm sure you know that Blake Moore, the representative who switched his vote to no from yes, it was necessary for him to do that so there would not be a tie.
Mm-hmm.
And the Republicans can bring it back up when Scalise, who was getting cancer treatment yesterday, can vote. So, there are three traitors and one guy who did what needed to be done procedurally to keep this thing alive. I also think that Charlie Kirk would be fantastic for the RNC. A combination of RNC being run the way he does.
Bad idea. And I'll tell. And I love Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. I'll tell you. Okay, all right. You'll listen. Okay, so I'll just talk to the audience. I'll tell you real quick. Charlie Kirk has done something that I thought was impossible. He's made being a Republican, if you're in high school and college, cool. I talk about this a lot. Prior to Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, when he was, when Candace Owens was with him, Republicans, they look like Ben Shapiro. Dorks wearing penny loafers and khakis and blue blazers, okay? And the work that Charlie Kirk has done with high school students and college students is so important. So we don't want him to leave that. He's doing too much good stuff there. So I know he would do an incredible job running the RNC, but Turning Point USA is as important today, maybe even more important today, for their outreach to youth than the Christian Coalition was back in the Pat Robertson era in the 80s, okay? I'm serious about that. I mean, you know what young Republicans used to look like? Dorks, nerds. Now the cool kids are the Republicans, okay? That was not the case before Charlie Kirk, Turning Point, and Trump. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian Lutheran Plantation.
Hey.
Got a question. Do we know if we're dropping off illegals within in the backyard of Mayorkas' neighborhood?
Probably not.
I think that's a good strategy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We don't want to do that, but I'll tell you, I don't think he would mind as long as he's getting paid.
No, true. Good point.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. If you're in Plantation, if they found oil in your backyard and put up a well, would you mind the inconvenience of the oil well in your backyard? Okay, take care. That's Mayorkas with the illegals. It's better. It's like having an oil field. Oh, man, I tell you. So, Nikki Haley, who lost to Trump in Nevada. Trump's not even on the ballot. Nikki Haley lost to Trump. Isn't that something? That's a special kind of skill set to lose to someone who's not on the ballot. Nikki Haley did it. Both Nikki Haley and Donald Trump have new ads out. Let me play Nikki Haley's Sick Twisted ad. This is Nikki Haley's latest. Here we go.
Just can't help himself. The ranting and raving, chaos follows him, and he's getting older.
We will restore on this planet peace through earth.
running to settle old scores. It's about him, not you.
Nikki Haley took on the establishment in Colombia. Then
Wait a second. Nikki Haley took on the establishment in Colombia. Now, they're talking about Columbia, South Carolina, not Colombia, south of the border, okay? So, my understanding of Nikki Haley in South Carolina, she took on the establishment. There's two things that she did in South Carolina that I know of, okay? One, even though she ran against doing this, when she became governess of South Carolina, she took the Confederate flag off the State House and moved it across the street, which she said she wouldn't do. And then she made all these deals with military-industrial contractors like Boeing. That's all so when they say she took on the establishment in Columbia, South Carolina, I'm not aware of that.
Running to settle old scores. It's about him, not you.
Nikki Haley took on the establishment in Colombia, then took on the world's dictators. A conservative, a patriot, who knows we're blessed to live in America.
I'm Nikki Haley, and I approve this message.
A patriot. She's a patriot. Really? She's in favor of the open border. See, this is George Orwell's 1984, changing the meaning of words. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, after. Okay, hold on. I got my things confused. Okay, I'm getting my signals confused. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE1. Okay, so then Trump, let me play Trump's ad. I got thrown off by that. That's okay. It's live. So then here's Trump's new ad.
Have been charging that brutal attack caught on camera.
A shocking act of violence. 2 NYPD officers beaten in Times Square. All of those arrested were released without bail.
Why did these 4 individuals be released on their own recognizance?
The Biden administration is fighting to release as many migrants as quickly as possible.
I reversed Trump's detrimental asylum policies.
There's no need for us.
Biden administration reversed Trump's policy on remain in Mexico.
Joe Biden to stop construction of the border wall.
It's a new day on the southern border. Here we go. The policy that made it easy to kick out migrants is gone.
He inherited the lowest rate of illegal immigration, and he immediately reinstated catch and release. And so when they apprehend people, they let them go.
I reversed Trump's detrimental asylum policies.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so Nick, you hear those two ads, Nikki Haley's ads all about her, and the Trump, all about me. Oh, I did the me. Trump's ad is about this attack on the country, and that's a television ad for South Carolina, by the way, and it shows the visuals of the cop beaters in New York giving the middle fingers to the camera. You know, it's an interesting thing when you follow the news over a long period of time, how one incident that seems so normal changes everything. This attack on the New York City police officers by those illegals, and then no bail. They get out and they're giving the middle finger to everybody. What a turning point that has been. It's been a turning point in the media, celebrities. You know, I was talking about to Steve yesterday, Michael Rappaport, who hates Trump like the plague, is now supporting Trump. You know, that incident is just amazing. When Greg Abbott sent the first busloads of illegals to the vice presidential official residence in D.C., the media laughed. Oh, it's 40 people on a bus. What difference will that make? Look what's happened. It's turned the whole country around to the Trump train. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll get back to the phones after the break. Steve will be joining us. We'll continue to celebrate Trump's victory in Nevada and much, much more. We've just scratched the surface. Our number is toll-free. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You know, in the first campaign, we had an illegal immigrant. What was the name of the girl who was murdered by the illegal in San Francisco? Illegal immigration killings were the big issue in that campaign, too. We'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indian.
Is that Joe? Is that Joe? I was thrown off by the number.
Yeah.
I didn't see the number.
I wanted to let you finish that.
Okay, that's not a problem.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
No problem.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Check out the big game party February 11th in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC with a delicious $30 all-you-can-eat buffet, great drink specials, also big prizes including tickets to your favorite team's regular season game next season, and all the super action on over 140 HD TVs. The Paddock is your perfect spot to catch all the OTB and sports action. For tickets and
Wow.
pbkennelclub.com. When did you first feel safe? Who you with? A parent? A brother or sister? It's always someone. A person. The people in Sloman's know that you feel safest at home. Your home security is set up by people. People who listen. People who understand. People who will be there when you need them. Give us a call at 1-833-283-5050 to custom design your home security system. Professional installation. Love the outdoors and the open road? Don't miss RV Out. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Hosted by Giant Recreation World Second Generation owner and CEO Larry McNamara and his co-host Blaine Adams. RV Out. Saturday mornings 10 a.m. right here on the True Orange Channel. Here's your ABC News update. ABC News. Temperature cancer. House Republicans will try again today to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas after Tuesday's attempt failed. A stunning vote can cause more chaos on Capitol Hill. A Republican effort to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas failed last night. The yeas are 214 and the nays are 216. After a surprise appearance by Congressman Al Green, he was expected to miss the vote due to his recent surgery, but the Democrat rolled into the House chamber in a wheelchair, wearing hospital scrubs to vote against impeaching Mayorkas. ABC's Ike and Jotzi in Washington. Donald Trump plans to appeal Tuesday's appellate court ruling that he can be prosecuted for trying to overthrow his 2020 election laws. 3 people killed, 16 injured and wounded in Kyiv in Russian bombardment early Wednesday morning. This is ABC News. For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the
All right, I'm coming back.
and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of Granger, because we have special grade supplies for every industry, even hard to find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call goodgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done. On the air since 1977.
All right, it sure is. The third and final hour of our Wednesday edition of the program has begun. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And, you know, this show has been on the air, right, since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. I wonder how many people began their career from the start of entering the workforce to retirement, just during the times they've been listening to this program. It's time to check in with the True Oldies retirement expert, Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Brian?
Doing well, doing well. So what do you have for us this morning, Joe?
Well, I just want people to know that right now you can still contribute to an IRA for 2023. A lot of people think it's over and you had to do something by December 31st. That is not correct. You can still
still make a contribution in an IRA for 2023. And if you're over 50 years of age, or most of us are, you can still contribute up to $7,500 this year and get a tax deduction and get a decent rate of interest on your money with one of the annuities that we talk about all the time on your show.
So that's amazing, because everybody I know, what they're doing right now is getting all their stuff together for the accountant. So we talk about annuities so much. So there's a tax benefit for annuities.
Take an annuity and IRA. A lot of people don't know that. So not only can you protect your money by keeping it safe and getting a decent rate of interest, safe, 5.5 to 5.75% fixed, guaranteed, no fees, no charges. That's what we do for our clients. And right now, take advantage of it, because not only can you contribute that money for 2023, but you can also make it a contribution for 2024. And these numbers are going up. The government does allow you to add about an extra $1,000 for your age if you're over 50. So it's a good deal to take advantage.
So what happens? If someone calls you up, and by the way, Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations no matter where you are located, as long as you mention you heard him here on the radio. So if someone calls you up and they say, say, what did you say it was, $7,500? I'd sure like to put that safe away instead of sending it to Washington. So if someone calls you up today and they say, you know what, I got $7,500 in a 401k or an investment account, I'd like to move over to save some tax money, you can help them with that.
Sure, of course. And, if you take advantage of it, what happens is it reduces your tax bracket and it puts a tax credit in your pocket for the 2023 tax year. So it's something you need to take advantage of right now. You have to do it well before April 15th, though, okay? We need about 7 to 10 days before April 15th to make sure you can take advantage of it.
Yeah, but it's better to do it now while you're actually probably going to be meeting with your accountant soon to do your taxes for last year. Well, listen, when we first met and you told me about annuities, I thought, wow, this is amazing. And then I'm learning that there are different, from you, I'm learning there are different types of annuities. Of course, you can generate income in your retirement with annuities, but that's only one of the many things that annuities are for, I'm learning every time we talk.
Exactly. There's a lot of advantages to it. The tax deferral, the tax-free buildup, and then you can take income for life. There's a lot of things that they do that other products just don't do. And most of my clients, quite honestly, are buying it for the safety aspect. They don't want to lose any money. They're tired of the market going up and down, so they just want some, safety in their portfolio, and that's what we do. I always say put a percentage of your money in safety.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, as I said, Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations. If you mention you heard him here on True Oldies, no matter where you're located. He's also offering free copies of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, which I have read. It is a quick read filled with actionable advice that laymen like me can understand. And that free phone consultation with a retirement expert, that's completely free, and it's an amazing offer. I'm going to give you Joe Thomas's number. Now, if you miss this number, just go to his website, JupiterJoe.com, and at JupiterJoe.com, you can pick the number up there if you miss it. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. All right, Joe Thomas, take care, and we'll talk again soon. All right, good information. All right, now we'll check in. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning. How are you today?
Oh, it's a great day. Trump just won Nevada, and he wasn't even on the ballot. I mean, it's amazing.
I've been trying to figure out. Everything seems to be a little bit chaotic to me.
No, it's not chaotic. The media want it to seem confusing because they don't want to say that their chosen candidate, Nikki Haley, lost for the third time. Well, and the way it works, things are a little strange in Nevada, but I don't mind. They isn't prostitution legal in Nevada outside of Vegas, so they, yeah, I wonder how the hooker vote went. Do they poll that out there?
It's pretty chaotic.
No, but no. This is how it works, okay? They've got a primary, which was yesterday, and then Thursday they have their state caucus, okay? And President Trump was not on the ballot. Nikki Haley was on the ballot. The majority of voters, over 60% of the Nevadans who went and voted yesterday, voted for none of these candidates on the ballot. None of these candidates on the ballot, that means Trump, because Trump wasn't on the ballot. You could not write Trump's name in, and he still won. And I was watching this morning the local news in Nevada online because I didn't want to hear what these TV people were trying to pollute my brain with. And they said that President Trump is going to receive all of the delegates for the convention from Nevada on Thursday during the Nevada State Caucus. So we got so Nikki Haley is 0 for 3. 3 primaries, 3 losses. And if we want to count Nevada twice because they've got the primary then the caucus, she's going to lose that too. So that'll be 4 losses, 4 wins for Trump. And then South Carolina is next, and she's going to lose there too. So this is great.
Schedule, you're saying?
To save America, correct. Say yes, absolutely.
I'm all for that.
Well, yeah, but the Democrats aren't.
The country, meanwhile, but I'm watching news from around the country on some of these monitors here, and it looks like it's pretty chaotic out there.
Where? What are you watching? Where is it chaotic?
Atlanta. Looks like a bunch of what do they call them? The
Atlanteans.
Atlanteans have taken over a squad. What do they call those people?
In Atlanta?
Yeah. No, they occupy home squatters.
Squatters. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there are a bunch of them who've taken over an area of Atlanta, and it seems there's a lot of chaos out there.
Well, that's okay. That's what happens when you have a city run by Democrats. Let the squatters try to take over a city in Florida and see what happens. You know, Democrats run Atlanta, and, so homeless people can take over houses and declare them theirs.
Taking some calls in this last hour to see what's going on.
On what?
The big national listenership. And I'd like to see if anybody else is experiencing a strange day like I am, or if I'm the only one. It could be I'm the only one.
You very well could be the only one because everything is going well. There is not one story in the news today. Even Mayorkas surviving the impeachment yesterday is good news.
That vote again.
It doesn't matter how it comes down, okay? You know, if chances are he won't be impeached the second vote. They'll just find some more Republicans to buy off. That's what they do. You know. Now I got some clips here though I wanted to play let me cue this one up. You know, this was from Outnumbered yesterday on Fox. Marie Harf, she's the blonde Democrat on Outnumbered on Fox, and for her to be on this panel is twisted. You know, she's CIA. She was with the CIA. She left the CIA to be John Kerry's spokesperson at the State Department, but she's a CIA operative, and she sits there on Outnumbered as if she's just some political pundit, but she's, So anyway, CIA analyst, spy, agent, whatever you call them, officer, Marie Harf, she's on Fox yesterday on Outnumbered and talking about the border bill. You know, that border bill where Biden and the Democrats and Mitch McConnell want to legalize illegal immigration? Listen, Marie Harf.
Donald Trump is telling his allies not to vote for it so he can run on it in November. That, to me, is dereliction of duty. Biden is ready to sign something if Congress will send it to him.
Okay, yeah, he'll sign anything you send as long as you give him 10%. I mean, you know, he is trying to legalize illegal immigration. No, the Republicans should not vote for that. You don't want to legalize criminal activity, okay? And it's not so that he'll win in November. It's so that we don't legalize illegal immigration. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's go to the phone. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
We don't legalize.
Oh, here we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, hey, Jay.
I was just noticing when Steve kept saying it looks a little chaotic, and you said that and now everything is good. I'm just wondering why you're ignoring the fact that he lost and from everything. How can you ignore?
Who lost what? What's that?
They voted yesterday and told him that he does not have immunity.
Who told who they don't have immunity?
But why are you acting like you don't understand what I'm saying?
Well, no, the problem you have is I understand. I don't know if you do.
Did you understand what I just said.
Be more clear. Who lost? Who was told that they don't have immunity, and who told them they don't have it?
Listen to this. The 3 judges yesterday sent a letter to him and let him know.
Who's the him?
Have immunity. So you trying to be a clown again?
Can't you say Trump's name? What is he, Voldemort?
Amusing.
Why can't you say Trump's name?
You can't understand what I'm saying. You can't. Why would I want to say that damn name?
Well, he's the subject of the discussion we're having. President Trump.
Talking about, you know what?
Okay. What kind of court was that?
What was the question I asked you?
I'm nice that you said ask. I see. You know, the diction lessons I've been giving you have worked. Exactly. I did not. It rains in Spain. The rain in Spain is mostly on the plain. Can you say that? Okay. The court yesterday was not the Supreme Court. It was a federal appellate court made up of 3 corrupt judges. 2 of them were appointed by Joe Biden, and a third one appointed by war criminal George W. Bush, who lied about WMDs in Iraq, and hundreds of thousands of people's lives have been destroyed because of it. So we have 3 judges appointed by 2 criminal presidents who said that President Trump does not have immunity from prosecution for things he did in the White House. But you agree with that decision?
Of course I agree with it.
Okay, so one of those judges was appointed by Bush. George W. Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction to get us into war. Should George W. Bush be charged, since presidents don't have immunity, should he be charged with the murder of everyone who died in the Iraq War?
You mean charged like Trump was charged for rape?
No, Trump wasn't charged with. Trump was not charged with rape. You're talking about a civil case over language. That court said yesterday. I'm talking about your topic that you brought up, even though it's not open phones. Okay, Jay, you said that the court ruled presidents don't have immunity. I'm asking you if George Bush should be prosecuted for all the deaths he's responsible for when he knowingly lied about WMDs in Iraq. Yes or no?
I don't know. For some reason, you cut out. You must have cut me off so I didn't hear nothing.
That's called logical thought. Your brain can't process it. That's when the sound of silence is when logic is introduced to your argument.
Can't you talk like you got some sense? You can't debate me. You scared of me, aren't you?
If I were scared of you, why would I even take your call? I don't have to take your call.
My words, and you can't debate me. You have to go and act like a...
See, you're too dumb to understand that I am debating you, and I just destroyed your argument. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. We got to run for a break. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, this is Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers, and we pay cash for houses. If you want to sell your home fast and easy without a realtor and save thousands in commissions and closing costs, call me at 561-570-7070. You can sell us your home in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. We can even pay you a cash advance before the closing, and we guarantee to make you a fair and honest offer. Our home buying process is simple, and we can make you a cash offer over the phone or in person, whatever works for you. Do you have a home that needs a lot of work? Did you inherit a house you don't want? No problem. We can buy your home no matter the condition or situation. You don't need to clean or fix anything, and there's no commissions or closing costs. If you want to sell your home fast and easy, we'll buy it. Call us today for a free offer. 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070. 561-570-7070.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of the can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Yeah,
you can make 2024 the year of more ocean views and quality time with your cruise with Margaritaville at Sea's new buy one, get three promotion. Now, for a limited time, you can bring up to 3 guests for free when you buy just 1 guest fare. Bring your friends, family, or kids along for free on fun-soaked getaways to the Bahamas, aboard the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, or adventure together with your best mates in Mexico and Key West this summer aboard the all-new Islander. Don't miss out on a sail like no other. Go to margaritavillatsea.com and book today.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West Delray, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger.
If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, everyone, and everyone who's already subbed, please like the video. And if you don't mind, share this video in my channel on whatever platforms you're on. You know, your Twitter, Facebook groups, Truth Social, your Discord servers, your Reddit groups. Help grow the channel.
Just like Trump, they're standing up tall and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell them you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. The Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM. Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM. Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. And anywhere in the world at True Oldies FM.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Call us on hold. Stand by. Before we go to the phones, the free shipping offer at MyPillow continues with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. This is a benefit that Mike Lindell is offering exclusive to our listeners because of the support you've shown Mike Lindell all these years through these difficult cancellations, the latest being Fox News Channel will no longer carry Mike Lindell or MyPillow advertisement. It's free shipping site-wide. And remember, you get a double savings with our promo code KANE. You get free shipping no matter how large or small the item is, plus the special. As another example I'll give, the MyPillow 2.0 with temperature regulating technology that my wife and I sleep on every night is 50% off right now with our promo code KANE. But you also get the 50% off and free shipping. That's site-wide on everything, okay? You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Steve, before we get back to phones, I will tell people where I was going with Jay, the liberal who was incapable, okay? This kangaroo court yesterday ruled presidents do not have immunity from prosecution for crimes committed as president. And I was asking about the crimes of Bush. Everyone knows that SEAL Team 6 got Osama bin Laden. You back with us, Steve? Okay, I thought I lost you. Okay, everyone knows SEAL Team 6 got bin Laden. That was top secret classified information. Barack Obama was on national television and announced on television that SEAL Team 6 took out bin Laden. Classified information. What happened next was SEAL Team 6 was killed. They were assassinated by Al-Qaeda. What happened was, after Obama, everyone knew that the SEALs got bin Laden, but they didn't know which team did. And then when Obama let it be known that SEAL Team 6 did it, Al-Qaeda spies inside the Taliban, you know, the people that that were armed up by Biden with the withdrawal, after Obama outed SEAL Team 6 as the SEAL team that got bin Laden, they were still operating in Afghanistan. Al-Qaeda, who had embedded spies inside the Afghan military that we were working with, told Al-Qaeda what helicopters SEAL Team 6 were flying on a particular day, and they took those helicopters out and killed, was it over 200 Americans? They killed SEAL Team 6. So if presidents do not have immunity, they said presidents don't have immunity yesterday, should Barack Obama be charged and prosecuted for the deaths of SEAL Team 6 that he got killed? And I'm serious about that question. All right, that's where I was going with Jay from Jersey, but he couldn't hack it. I was a beat or two away from that. I wanted to start with the man he hates more, George W. Bush. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Jay because you're really an idiot. Now, for one, you tried to make fun of my name, which really exposes your stupidity. Because everyone knows Rene is really a man's name after a philosopher Rene Descartes, which you probably never heard of.
The only card I know are the things at the grocery store, and the only Renee I've known that is not a girl is you. But that's okay. Nothing wrong with your name. Be proud of it.
I am. You're trying to make fun of it, which is really stupid, because it makes you sound like an idiot.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with your name.
Yeah, well, thank you, sir. Now, the other thing is...
By the way, is Renee your European name? Is that your European name?
Trump is a rapist.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be convicted, and I hope they take every cent he's got.
Is Renee your European name? Is that like the slave name?
My family gave me, you dummy.
But why didn't they give you like an African name?
If they wanted.
So the reason I bring this up is because you. No. You called the other day. You in your last call on the program.
How's that?
That's fine. You call me whatever you want. I've been called worse, believe me. I've been called much worse, believe me. No, you said the last time you've called the program, which I think was yesterday, you wanted to rid the United States of European culture. And what I'm trying to tell you is your name, Renee, is part of that.
What does that prove? That doesn't mean anything.
It means you've got the white man's name.
And the name, oh my God.
Come on, Renee, you're gonna about this. We're gonna move along.
All right, Renee, he's got nothing, and it's time for a break. So you're lucky. All right. No, we're doing good. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm confusing our liberals today. Notice not one liberal took me up on my challenge I offered, my amnesty day. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Making radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
I know. That was funny. I can't help but laugh at that one. Oh my goodness, there we are. Okay. I'm going to look up who said he was named after, because I don't know who, Rene Descartes. I don't know who that is. Oh, a Frenchman. Yeah, that figures by the name. This is interesting. Okay, I just looked this guy up that Renee said he was named after. I'll share it when we get back. Here we go.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show. 47 years.
All right, I'm Brian Steve's here. Okay, Steve, there's only 2 openings on the board, guys, but stand by. I looked up who Renee said he was named after during the break. He said he was named after Rene Descartes. Now, I did not, never... Descartes, yeah, well, yeah, but I wasn't sure by the spelling, but you have a classical education. You went to one of those fancy classical schools, so Steve speaks Greek.
I don't speak Greek, but
You studied it?
As Descartes.
Descartes, okay. I don't recognize Descartes' name. I'll be the first to tell you, but I looked it up, and this I find very interesting, okay? Who needs a classical education, Steve, when you got Google, right? And for those that don't know, Steve went to the same high school as President Kennedy, okay, just so you know. So that's how fancy Steve is, okay? I went to Stranahan High School in Fort Lauderdale, okay, it was basically the county jail when I was there, and also where all the crack was being dealt during the 80s. But Descartes, okay, who Renee is named after, has been dubbed the father of modern Western philosophy. Now, and is considered the father of the 17th and 18th century Western Renaissance. So Renee, who hates the white man like nobody's business, is proudly named after the man who brought modern Western civilization, European civilization, to the New World and brought to yeah, I mean, it's a very strange little conflict of interest there, you know. Oh my goodness. All right, and he also came up with the mathematical idea of exponents, the x, the y's, and all that crap that gives us all headaches in college. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Terry from Florida.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, man, why you be lying all the time? You lie.
What I lie? What I be lying about, man?
See, you laughing because you know you be lying.
What I be lying about?
You lied saying that Trump didn't rape that woman when he did. Matter of fact, he had to pay $5 million to pay that woman that he raped.
And now this is where I'm confused. When someone has to pay after a court ruling, that's a civil case. And then no. And then there are Then there are criminal cases. Do you know the difference between a criminal case and a civil case?
Of course.
Tell me, what's the difference? No, tell me. Because you say I be lying, and I don't want to be lying. What is the difference between a criminal conviction and a civil ruling? What's the difference?
What I'm saying is, one, the civil was when he was going around talking about that lady saying...
No, we're not talking about this lunatic, E. Jean Carroll. Excuse me. We're not talking about E. Jean Carroll or Trump. We're talking about criminal court convictions and civil court judgments. What's the difference? But you're not the host of the show, and Open Phones is on Friday, okay? What you said that you know the difference between a criminal court conviction and a civil court ruling. You said, yeah, like I told people about Descartes. Hello,
I'm telling you lied. I'm just calling you.
Well, if you don't know the difference between the two types of court judgments, how do you know we be lying? Maybe we be telling the truth.
No, you ain't telling the truth.
You ain't, yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
When you went to that school that President Kennedy went to, did they say you be lying and ain't? Did they use those? No, no, they didn't.
But he's a felon.
A felon?
Compared to he's got to go to appeal, go to the Supreme Court. Now they can say, okay, we don't want to hear that case.
Excuse me. President Trump has a felony conviction. Excuse me. We're going to break news here. CNN, you listen? Newsmax, right down the street. Are you listening? You said that President Trump is a convicted felon. When was he convicted of a felony?
Yes.
When? When was he convicted of a felony? I missed that.
He told those people to go.
No. Excuse me. When was President Trump found guilty in a court of law for a felony? I missed that. What court convicted him of a felony charge?
When he goes.
Oh my God. Okay, Steve, my eyes are bleeding. I got to let that guy go. I'm all okay to talk to liberals and all, but I just I can't continue that conversation. I'm like Megyn Kelly in that Trump debate. I'm bleeding from all orifices right now. You're on the air. Our audience.
Good morning, Steve and Brian. That is not really hard to follow. Criminal is when you're doing something wrong illegally, and the other one is when they want to basically act.
Well, excuse me. Hold on a second. Everyone knows that other than the caller.
Money.
They didn't take all his money. Who took all of Trump's money? How? OJ? We're not. You're not. Okay, let us make fun of the. Okay, hold on a second here. Hosting a radio show is a very sophisticated, highly trained art form, okay? And it can be very risky when you try to do it when you're a rank amateur at home, okay? So let us do the ridicule. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Kevin from Delray.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, how you doing? What do you call? First, I want to go back to what you were talking about Obama with the Navy SEALs.
Mm-hmm.
I read a book out there called Relentless. And a lot of people in America should start reading that book, and they'll see the facts of what happened over there with the Taliban and all. And it's clearly written what they did to our Navy SEALs, and it was a real disgrace.
Well, the Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6 were assassinated because Obama let known the classified information that it was SEAL Team 6 that got bin Laden. They were killed because of Obama. So what I'm telling people is if presidents do not have immunity, that means, and there's no statute of limitation on murder, what is the criminal liability of Obama for getting SEAL Team 6 killed? I'm just curious.
100%. And it's written, like I said, in
the book.
Relentless.
Are you? Do you happen to be the author? Do you want to get that name out so bad? Yeah, he's gone. Good morning. You're on the air. It's a book about the Taliban, Steve. I don't want to put people's. We're on a roll. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Ivy, Uncle Steve, buddy. How are you, old pal?
How you doing?
Man, what a great show, and it's hilarious. After Terry in Florida, the guy really should be on drugs because I don't think he's on drugs and he's that way. That a mind is a terrible thing to waste, like you say about Jay from Jersey. But remember the one that says, the more you know? My friend says,
yes.
People are just ignorant to the facts. Facts slapping your face left and right all day. Let's start with the crack and the coke. In order to make crack, you must have coke. In order to make coke, you must have a particular chemical. This chemical was produced.
We're not going to tell people how to make drugs. Thank you for your call. Oh my goodness, what is going on? He's giving out the formula. He wants to give out the formula on how to make crack cocaine. Oh my goodness, no. I'm sorry. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Dave, Pamela.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, good morning, guys. I've seen Macho commercials on Fox recently, I do believe.
No, you have not. There's a difference. Excuse me. Listen, let me finish my sentence. And then when you give an answer, it'll sound like a thoughtful answer, not just some knee-jerk response, okay? There's a difference between Fox as a national network and then watching Fox on your local cable network. You may see a commercial airing during programming, but that is your local cable company running an ad. Fox News has banned the when Fox News gets carried, okay, like any other syndication thing, there's certain amount of spot sets in every hour. Some of those spots are national spots for Fox, and some of them are local for the local cable outlet. If you saw what you say you saw, that was your local cable outlet's advertising, not the national Fox. Sorry, you want to try again? One other, you got something else to get me on?
I thought that guy explained it well, the civil and the criminal difference with OJ, and you sort of cut him off. Hello?
Yeah?
Explained it well.
Okay. Okay. Well, you've got some issues then. We weren't talking about OJ.
Just call the show.
You have issues.
Okay, you're picking on all your callers today.
No, you're picking on me. I didn't. You called me. I didn't call you. What's wrong with this guy? Oh my goodness. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. All right, we'll take our break and I guess we'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on.
All right, and it's the most listened portion of the program. That is the Gold and Precious Metals Report with William Youngerman, who joins us each morning at this time with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Actually, very good. The market put in a good performance yesterday, closing up $10.50 after trading in a range of $2,022 to $2,040 on gold. So we had a close yesterday of $235.40. Silver was up 7 cents at $22.36. Platinum closed up $6 at $903, and palladium was down $3 at $933. We pulled back, a little bit of a pullback today, but right now gold's up just 10 cents at $2,035.50. Silver's down 11 cents at $22.25. platinum down $13 at $890, and palladium down $13 at $920. So the markets are pretty much stable at right around the ranges we've been, still giving us great opportunities to accumulate and add to our position.
Yeah, now yesterday you were telling us these incredible deal on not just silver, but very specifically the much sought after American Silver Eagle. When it comes to gold, what's the best buy in the 1 ounce gold right now?
Best buy on 1 ounce gold is still, well, the 1 ounce gold bars are the lowest premium, but the 1 ounce gold kangaroos from the First Mint of Australia are still our favorite product as a coin, and that is non-reportable on sales. It's a great item, and it's 999 fine pure gold, and they're beautifully encapsulated in plastic to protect the gold from being scratched or damaged.
Yeah, and the Australian kangaroo, by the way, is one of those. It's one of those types of gold that's actually shiny, like in the movies, right? You know, like when they open up the briefcase and the light comes out and everything else. The kangaroos are that. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in. His address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. And if you could stop in, please do, because all of these incredible gold and silver and platinum coins and bars that we talk about, you can actually see them on display over at William Youngerman's, and it'll blow you away. And that Australian kangaroo is one of the most beautiful coins I have ever seen. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or call. Again, he opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
Okay, back after this. All right, we are back. You know, this morning, I wore the wrong shoes this morning, and the shoes I'm wearing are the shoes I wear when I do yard work. And I was doing some yard work, and they're the wrong shoes, not just because they're old, faded, and have holes in them, but they're filled with dirt. I've got soil, sand, and some mulch in these shoes. So I've not been too comfortable in my shoes all morning. But, you know, if it weren't for Dr. Philip Appleton, I wouldn't have shoes for yard work. Because before Dr. Appleton rid me of pain, I couldn't do yard work. And now not only do I do yard work, I really like it. I was out there, what I was doing is I was picking weeds out of my hedges. And I had these shoes by the door, and I put them on when I left at 5 in the morning in the dark. And by the time I got to the car, I realized I was wearing the shoes with dirt in them. I said, whatever, I'll change it when I get home. But, you know, you'll find when you're no longer in pain, you're actually more active. You know, me, I do a little weed pulling. You might, go to the mall, go to the store, play tennis or pickleball. I don't know, but I know this. When you're in pain, you don't want to do anything because you're hurting, you're suffering. But when you're pain-free, you're active and you're having a good time. And Dr. Appleton can do with you what he's done with me, and that is rid you of your pain, rid you of your suffering with the Laser Away Pain Treatment. The Laser Away Pain Treatment, there are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. It is 100% painless. Painless, painless, painless. Okay? And what it does is amazing. It actually repairs the injury or damage that is causing you the pain. As opposed to those drugs that just mask the pain, the Laser Away Pain Treatment repairs the damage that is causing the pain. Give him a call. Now, Dr. Appleton knows that when you're in pain, you need help, you need relief from your suffering now. That's why appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710, and online, AppletonCairo.com. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, so we're back here. We've had a run of really kooky calls, but I just to get us back on track with everything that's going on, there's some, just to end on a serious note as to what's happening. President Trump, he won Iowa, New Hampshire, and he's going to get all the delegates to the convention from Nevada on Thursday. He's projected to win South Carolina, Nikki Haley's home state, where she was twice elected governor as well. So we've been talking a lot about why is Nikki Haley still in this race with her man hand. She has man hands, Steve. I just noticed this on Saturday Night Live. She has the hands of a man, which might be why she's, so strange. It's got to be hard for a woman to live her life with the hands of a man. It's almost like she had a hand transplants. It's very strange. Remember that movie, The Hand, with Michael Caine? Man, it's a good movie, though. Michael Caine got the hand of a killer sewed to him, and it made him want to kill. Yeah, it was a good movie. Pretty clever. But anyway, why is she still in it is something we and others have been talking about. And this kangaroo court ruling yesterday that ruled that President Trump cannot be prosecuted very well will be leading to that J6 case in that corrupt judge courtroom, the judge that used to be Hunter's boss at the law firm. It's for that case. Nikki Haley and the Democrats that are funding her campaign, they believe that there is still a path for Trump not to be the nominee through this January 6th nonsense, okay? And in their delusional Trump derangement syndrome fantasies, if for some reason at the convention Trump can't get the nomination because of this insurrection fantasy that they've concocted, Nikki Haley will be in second place and she'll get the nomination. That's why they're keeping her in it. And they're likely to keep her in it past her South Carolina defeat humiliation. Because she in many of these states she's picking up some delegates. She doesn't have any delegates. She won't get any in Nevada, but some of these other states, when you come in second place, you still get delegates. DeSantis has a couple delegates from Iowa, okay? So they're still thinking there's a path for her to get the... I mean, they're really desperate, Steve. These are desperate people. I mean, to think that something like that is even possible. But, what blows my mind is the people that think it's possible are some of the wealthiest people in our country, these rich Democrats that are pouring money into Nikki Haley's campaign. How are people so rich, yet so stupid? I don't understand. Because usually rich people I think of as smart. Why are these rich people giving her so much money, Steve? Maybe they inherited it. Maybe they inherited the money and didn't make it on their own. I don't know. But that's why Nikki Haley's sticking in the race. And, it's the way that this court ruling came down yesterday in the media was very confusing yesterday. Because when this kangaroo appellate ruling came in that presidents don't have immunity, I don't know if this is how you took it, Steve, but the way they presented it on television to me was if it was a Supreme Court ruling. Didn't it seem like that to you? The way that they ran the story was like the Supreme Court has ruled. I know they didn't say it exactly like that, but the impression I had, and I was caught off guard, I was like, wait a minute. How did this get to the Supreme Court? What's going on? What did I miss? And then, then I looked at it, a couple minutes later. I was like, oh, this isn't the Supreme Court. Why are they so excited? It didn't make a lot of sense, but now it does. So, no, everything is going according to plan. There's nothing for us to worry about. And it's done. Trump's going to get the nomination. He's going to win. And, I was watching... The Coven of the View. Okay, I saw a clip of them online, and Sonny Hostin was talking about inflation's down. Look at the best economy of any of the past presidents. Inflation's down. It's a complete lie. I mean, it comes from Jean Pierre at the White House, I guess. Inflation is not down; it's still going up. And I saw a story today that Big Macs are now, the Big Mac value meal at McDonald's is now $18 for a Big Mac value meal. Yes, it's in the New York Post. You got the New York Post. Listen to this. Is the $18 Big Mac combo what finally broke America? Low-income customers making less than $45,000 per year have largely stopped ordering from McDonald's. This is according to McDonald's chief executive officer during an earnings call. McDonald's food is becoming like a fancy French restaurant. A Big Mac, fries, and drink has risen to nearly $18 at some McDonald's locations, hash browns. I love the McDonald's hash browns. I don't like the McDonald's breakfast, but I love the hash browns. Hash browns are going for, at some locations, $6. You know that little tiny little hash brown? Yeah. So I don't know what they're talking about over there on the View. They're out of their minds. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Go from West Virginia.
Hey, Kathy.
All right. What I was calling about is when President Trump was ordered to pay that $83 million to E. Jean Carroll, I really don't understand how they can make him pay that with them not having any facts or really.
Well, he hasn't paid her 10 cents. He hasn't paid her 83 cents. And if you remember, Stormy Daniels ended up, at the end of that, she ended up owing Trump money for his legal fees. Remember that?
Yes. President Trump is the best president we've ever had in my lifetime, in my history. And I'm in my 60s.
Yeah.
And he is the best president.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, you're right on the money. You're absolutely correct.
Too, and wanted to thank you for getting all this out there for us.
Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. Take care. Now, see, not everybody in our audience is a lunatic. All right.
Nice people.
Yeah, but sometimes some of our listeners are a little strange. You've heard some of them on the phones today, and
To be fair, I mean, we are provocative.
come on. If you want to hear provocative on the radio, check out the Joyce Kaufman Show. Yeah, exactly. Oh, my goodness. How can they put that on during daylight hours? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
Hey, Joellen.
So, hi, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
Good. So what you said about Nikki Haley and their strategy, I've been thinking that DeSantis is doing the same thing since he's been just suspended his campaign and hasn't actually dropped out. Is that not the? Is that?
Well, you know, DeSantis. I would not be surprised if DeSantis thinks he's going to be Nikki Haley's running mate. That I would not be surprised, and because he suspended his campaign, whatever money he has remaining, he still has. If he has any left, yeah.
And yesterday the Mayorkas thing. Why couldn't Scalise have voted from wherever he was in the hospital?
Yeah, you have to physically be there now. This is in COVID times. You have to physically be there, and they hid Al Green. Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about this. Al Green, who was out for cancer treatment, they kept him in hiding until the last second to wheel him in to vote so that the Republicans couldn't do their vote count, properly, to throw off the vote count because the majority's so slim. They're sleazy, and then they celebrate that it's scummy. All right, Joellen, got to run. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Stephanie from Idaho. And earlier you were talking about the RV.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Well, I live in one in Idaho, and I've never been happier. I don't have homeowners insurance to pay.
Well, I wish you would not have called in the last, 40 seconds of the show. If you call me tomorrow, if you call tomorrow earlier, I'll explain what I was talking about, okay? Okay, I don't have time to do it now. Okay, take care. All right, there's this new trend, Steve, of glorifying homelessness I was referencing, and I'm glad to talk about it, but we don't, but we're out of time for today. Listen, we are out of time for today, but we will be back tomorrow. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, is here. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio this year. That makes us the longest-running radio show in Florida, and I believe the longest-running radio show in America. The Grand Ole Opry don't count, okay? They don't have the same host for 100 years. That's it. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take care.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
All right, guys, I got to run. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new, everyone who's subbed, make sure you like the video, okay? Take care, guys. I will see you on the podcast.